example of what dyslexia looks like? Like as far as like what is the child seeing?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a neurological thing. And so there's, every kid's going to be a little bit different as far as like what you see in the kid and then like what they experience and to the levels of how they experience things. Right. But one of the things to remember is just that, it is that neurological thing. And it's really just like how they take information in. Right. So I'll give you an example of like, hopefully this example will kind of illustrate like what a kid might be feeling. So like when my kid was in second grade and he was really getting depressed and down and feeling like he's just like, what am I not getting? Right. Like, what do all these kids know? What's the clue? What's the code that I don't know? So I'm going to show you this little pig. Right. Okay. So I actually got you a little visual. So here's a pig. Okay. And would you agree this looks like a pig?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to flip him around and he's going to look this way.
Okay.
And so what does he look like to you now?
Still a pig.
Sabrina, I think he's a cow. Are you sure?
He's a pig.
He's a pig. What? Okay.
He's a pig.
What if I turn him upside down? Now is he a snake?
Still a pig.
What? Are you kidding me? But he's upside down. He's totally changed. Where's my camera? He's totally changed.
He's a pig. Yes.
Sabrina, you're crazy. Okay. So what if and so then like when he's right side up and if I do this, like he's still a pig?
Still a pig.
That is so bizarre. Okay. Because what about when I show you this?
I get it. A bee. That's a bee.
Okay. 100% it's a bee.
I see a bee.
You're right. Okay. It's a bee. Okay. But I'm going to turn it around. And what is it now?
A D. Wow.
Sabrina, it was a B. How did it turn into a D?
Wow.
How did it turn into? It's the same thing.
Got it.
Same thing. How did it turn into? Okay, and so, but let's complicate it more. What if I go like this?
That's a P. That's a P. And that's a Q. Wow.
And this one is a P, right? Is that a P?
Yeah, that's a P.
But
for me.
Are you sure it's not a 9?
That would also be a 9. Yes.
Okay, so my son, sitting in class, like this is happening to, like people are like, you're trying to sound out words and it's like, so like bed, B-E-D, right? So it's like b-e-d, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, are you sure it's not d-e-b?
Wow.
Like, are we sure? Right? Because nobody, like, the connections haven't been taught to him in a way that he has said, well, let's do the P, okay? So it's a shape, right? But it has a and it says P, right? P. So we have to be able to recognize that this shape has that sound and then be able to blend it with other sounds. But when I turn this shape around or I move it, it has a different sound.
But it's very similar though.
Right. And let's complicate it because you got like P for your P, you got your B for your B and D. Like, very similar. Okay. But if I take my pig, he does not turn into a cow when I turn him around.
Wow.
So what I did is, it's not that he ever saw it different, but it's that he like, could you tell me why? Like, how do I know when it's this? How do I know when it's that? Because am I the crazy one who thinks that it's, I don't understand why you suddenly changed the name of it? Because every time we turn it around, we give it a different name, right? And a different sound. But we never give the pig a different name when we turn it around.
Wow.
And if you want to take it a step further, the pig says oink, oink, no matter which way he's going either. But the shape of the letter, we change the name of it, and we change the sound that it makes every time we turn it a different way. So my kid is like, am I stupid? Or are these other people stupid? And I just like you said, what's normal?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So is it the same thing also with like I's and L's and sevens? Like, is it the same concept?
Yeah, like all those things can be like easily, like my son's name is Robert, and for the longest time when he would sign his name, he would put B, capital B, because you can't turn capital B around. I mean,
Wow.
you can turn it around, but he knows it's not a letter. And so
Yeah.
for the longest time, he would sign, and I like when he was little, like first, second grade, like I have Mother's Day cards where he signed, and it says Rodert. Because he's like, wait, which way does it go? And so he's like, well, that's stupid. I'm not spelling my own name wrong. So he just, on his own, he just decided, well, if I put a capital in there, it's always going to be right.
Wow. That's a good way to fix it himself. Problem solver.
Yeah, problem solver.
Problem solver. That is amazing. I love that you had that. That was so much more of a visual. It was so much more of a visual that I actually like felt emotion with that while you were doing that. And I can't even imagine the feeling, the confusion as
Exactly.
a child.
Yeah.
The confusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you start questioning, like, what is wrong with my brain? Like, why, like all these other kids are getting it. Like I was here too. Like what did I miss? Like, why didn't I get it? And so that's just, yeah. So that's just kind of, I mean, dyslexia as a whole, it looks different for everybody. One of the things that my daughter would always do, so high heel shoes, girls are always fascinated with shoes when they're young. She'd always be like, I want to wear your heel highs. And she'd put on my high heel shoes and be prancing around the house. And then, it's cute when she's 2 and maybe 3. It's like when she's in 4th grade, it's kind of like, honey, they're high heels. What? Right? Like, whatever. Okay. Yeah. So it's little things like that where they switch or they'll switch syllables. Like, okay. So like the word lawnmower, maybe they would say lawnmower, which we all sometimes do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
dyslexic kids will do it a little bit more often, or things like toddlers do that they don't necessarily outgrow, as far as like with their language, speaking and things. Like you can kind of be like, but it's something that all little kids do. And both of my kids are dyslexic, so it was kind of like, it was normal. It wasn't like Robert was way different than my daughter. It was just it showed up in school way differently for him than it did my daughter. And she's never actually been diagnosed. We assume that she's dyslexic because now that we know what we know with my son, she's just got so many similarities and so many of the struggles that it's hereditary. We assume that she is as well.
Got it. Now, is there any sort of, like if a child has ADD, that they usually go on to something like a Ritalin or something. Is there some sort of medication or treatment for dyslexia?
No, it's all based on the way that they learn. And so the only thing that you can do is they need different instruction. And again, there's nothing wrong with them to medicate.
Got it. Good point. Good point.